talent is an overrated word. I think that it's a combination of drive, desire, love of music, and a lot of it might have to do with the way a person has been raised, if they're raised in a musical family. It's like breathing. They don't think about it's something that they have to go work on to do. I think that the one thing I would say about God-given talent is that everybody has it to some degree. If a person can, when they're at the age to be able to distinguish this, if they can tell a bad note from a good note, then they have enough talent. If their hearing and their acuity and their brain doesn't work well enough for them to tell one from another or even care, maybe when somebody plays a beautiful violin solo, all they hear is scratching, then they're probably not. If somebody's grown up with music, they think it's God-given. One example is so-called perfect pitch. Pitch is arbitrary. It's not natural. It's something that men determine. So you have to learn it at some point. Probably a lot of that comes from the arrogant attitude of the people who think they have all that talent. I think it's no matter whether you have talent or not, you have to have hard work. Raw talent can be almost dangerous unless it's shaped into something useful. Practice. Somebody who's grown up with it, loving it, they don't think of it as practice. They think of it as experimenting, playing around, having fun, seeing what they can create. And I often use a sort of a Zen-like phrase with my students: don't drive faster than your headlights. Make sure that you're going at a speed where you can get to the next note without hesitating. Because it's not the event itself, it's the preparation and the transition from one event to another that brings about fluency. When it comes to practice, I don't tell somebody they have to practice a certain amount of time. I think it's best broken up into small things with goals, with small goals. You need to have the eventual goal in your mind, but you need to be happy with, okay, before I get up, I'm having trouble with these two measures of this piece. I'm gonna master those two measures before I get up. That depends on the goal. The flip side of that is someone who is I have a lot of adult students or adult beginners, and I encourage them because they believe it's too late for them. But that's again where the desire, and they certainly probably won't be a concert artist because that takes developmental things, but they certainly can enjoy making music at any age. Drive is probably more important than talent. Because the person who thinks they're talented might be a little bit lazy. They might not want to push and drive. So it's possible that a person without so-called talent might get beyond somebody who thinks they're talented and don't have to work at it. A love of music, a desire, and if you lose that, sometimes it becomes drudgery. Ones who are forced by their parents, I tend to say, well, we're stuck with each other, so let's make the best of it. Because you have an unwilling victim rather than somebody who loves it if they've been pressured into it. But discipline of some kind is important too. It has to be coupled with willingness to maybe not get there as fast as you thought you would. So if the discipline keeps you going when you're about to give up, then yes, it's a good thing. I think what I've discovered over the years is the mentor or the teacher's most important role is getting the student past those points where they feel like they've come as far as they can. It's been said about even Mozart, who's one of the most famous child prodigies, that his father pushed him and pushed him and pushed him because he wanted him to be a child prodigy. And I think it's possible to create that kind of a, dare I say, monster, you know, because it's important, it's socially important, it's family important. I was told when I was very young and arrogant that by a freshman psychology teacher that there's no such thing as talent. Well, I was immediately incensed. But then the more I thought about it, it's really a conglomerate of a lot of skills. And combined with the fact that maybe you've grown up with music as opposed to somebody who's never been exposed to it. So there's so many variables that come into this thing that I tend to put quotes around talent.